Hey guys, Mr. Anderson here. I'm here to tell you about the reproductive system. The reproductive system has seriously evolved over the years. All sexually reproducing eukaryotic organisms derive from a common ancestor, which happens to be a single-celled eukaryotic species. From fossil records, we can estimate the first sexual reproduction occurred 1,200 million years ago in the Proterozoic era. Gametes then became more specialized, such as sperm, because becoming smaller and lightweight to maximize their traveling distance. Then organs specialized for spreading, gametes, developed. Then males and females became more specialized, in which males would only possess the male reproductive organ. The evolution of the system was a result of selection, because sex and recombination caused the overall fitness of the offspring to benefit. Due to environmental changes, the best fitted survived, causing sexual reproduction to be a driving force in today's world. Alright guys, now we're going to have a short interview with a good friend of mine. He's a specialist on the male reproductive system, Professor Penis.
Hey Paul, good to be here.
Yeah. Professor Penis, please tell us about the male reproductive system.
Wow, funny you should ask, Paul. The male reproductive system is fabulous. Form really fits function when it comes to the male. First of all, the male is responsible for providing the zygote with sperm. Sperm is produced in the testes. By the way, this is my new car.
Pretty nice car you got there. Where'd you get it?
Target.
Good gas mileage?
I wouldn't know. I don't actually drive it. It's a toy. Back to testicles. The testes are responsible for spermogenesis, which is the production of sperm. The testes used to be located in the abdomen. Now they're located outside the body, which is perfect. Sperm matures very well in the temperature outside the body. It's not too hot, not too cold. Perfect. Seminiferous tubules assist with the young sperm. And cells located around the scrotum help produce testosterone. Testosterone, wonderful, wonderful. Great for everyone. It helps to produce secondary sex characteristics such as facial hair, lower voice, puberty, that sort of thing. A feedback loop exists to help control sperm production. This loop consists of the testes, hypothalamus, and pituitary glands. Each produces a special hormone that helps monitor the production of sperm and prevents it from becoming too high or too low in most males.
So, Professor Penis, it's a really nice gun you got there.
Oh, is it?
Where'd you get it?
I don't know. I don't even know what's mine.
Okay.
You know, speaking of guns, it kind of reminds me of the sperm's movement through the penis. After the sperm leaves the testes, it goes through afferent ductals and then moves to the epididymis. In the epididymis, a fluid is secreted which assists in the maturation and transport of the sperm.
Professor Penis, can you please tell us about the urethra? Speaking of urethras, how's yours?
Mine's good, thanks for asking. Urethra's not that complicated. Sperm and urine exit the penis through the urethra. You may think, man, Professor Penis, if sperm and urine both exit through the same place, won't that kind of contaminate the semen and urine? No. Bulbal urethral glands produce a fluid that neutralizes the urine during sexual arousal. That way, urine doesn't get in the female. Before sperm exits through the urethra, it first enters the ejaculator duct. This duct is a site where sperm mixes with fluid from the seminal vesicles, creating the semen. Sperm then heads to the urethra and is emitted from the male's body during ejaculation.
Wow, you know, that was a great interview, Professor Penis. I really appreciate it. Drive home safely on your little car.
I do not drive the car, it's a toy.
I'm sorry. Now we got another interview with a specialist in the female reproductive system, Nick, the lady killer, Frank.
What's up, Mr. Anderson?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good.
Dude, I didn't even recognize you without your glasses.
So, Nick, please take us through the female reproductive system.
Well, I'll let you know. It's very complex, but you could call me an expert. Eggs are made right around here. They're fertilized in here. They're stored here. Once they're fertilized and they come out, well, you know where. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long does this process usually take?
Now that you mention it, it usually takes around 28 days.
Well,
And it's called the menstrual cycle. And I got the sick diagram, which I want to show y'all.
alright. But before we go, I have a quick question for you. Why do they call you Lady Killer?
3 words. Not your business.
Cycle, the first few days are where the bleeding occurs. Obviously, this is the woman's period. When this happens, the uterine lining is being disposed of through the vagina. But the next step, or should I say the same step, is the follicular phase. And the follicular phase is where the pituitary gland secretes FSH and stimulates ovarian follicle development. This happens in the ovary. All this happens in these first couple days here up till ovulation, which is the next step. Ovulation occurs when there's an increase in LH. When there's an increase in LH, the chosen ovarian follicle and the egg go into the fallopian tube. Once they're in the fallopian tube, as discussed earlier, that is where the egg can become fertilized. The next step, which starts the day of ovulation, let's say for sake of argument it was day 13. So on day 13, the luteal phase begins, and the luteal phase is basically the preparation for a pregnancy, which is the increase in uterine lining in the uterine wall. And after this happens, if there's no pregnancy, you just start the whole thing over again. If not, you keep the uterine lining, obviously, and you have a pregnancy, and you will grow. Now, there are 3 hormones I discussed here. The first one was in the follicular phase, and it stimulated the growth of the ovarian follicle, and that's FSH, right? The second hormone I discussed is the sudden increase of this hormone will stimulate ovulation, and that's LH. And then the 2 that stimulate the growth of the uterine lining are progesterone and estrogen.
So let me walk you through it. An ovary is about this big, but usually kind of oval-shaped, because, you know, I'm an expert. It's located around here, which I told you before. And when there's an increase in the hormone LH in a female, an egg is released into the fallopian tube. Now, when it's crunch time, there can be some sperm hanging around in there, as Professor Penis just showed us, and the egg will get fertilized in this tube, which is connected to something around this big, a uterus, which is located around this area. And what happens is that egg wouldn't be this big, but let's say this is the egg. The egg can lodge itself in there, and it will grow and become a baby.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what happens next, Lady Killer?
Birth.
Are you experienced in that category?
I'm experiencing a lot of things because I'm an expert. But
Have you given birth?
Not yet.
Welcome back, Professor Penis.
Thanks, good to be back.
Yeah. So how do you fertilize this egg?
Wow. Basic stuff, basic stuff.
Yeah, pretty
Let's
basic.
show. Let's show. Form fits function. This water bottle is a penis. This hand is a vagina. You know the rest.
Alright, thank you guys for helping me out on Bozeman biology.
No
It was
problem,
really
man.
helpful.
Yeah, thanks.
Catch us next time on Ping Pong Tutorial.